Old age remembers two things not to laugh at, three things not to complain about, two things not to argue over. As we age, life offers us profound lessons, shaping who we are and teaching us what matters most. For those entering or already enjoying the golden years, it becomes increasingly important to focus on inner peace, meaningful connections, and letting go of unnecessary burdens. Here, I share heartfelt advice about 7 guiding principles: two things not to laugh at, three things not to complain about, and two things not to argue over. These simple yet profound lessons aim to inspire wisdom and serenity for senior citizens navigating life's later stages. Let us explore each in depth. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. 1. Two things not to laugh at. Laughter is indeed the best medicine, but not all types of laughter are created equal. Some can hurt others and diminish our own compassion. Here are 2 things we should never laugh at. 1. Don't laugh at romantic relationships. Romantic love is a gift, one that doesn't diminish with age but instead transforms into something deeper and more enduring. For many in their later years, love is not just a fleeting feeling, it's a profound need for connection, companionship, and understanding. Yet, society often marginalizes or trivializes the romantic lives of older adults, turning them into the butt of jokes or dismissing their emotions as misplaced nostalgia. This is both unfair and unkind. Imagine a widow in her 70s finding joy in the company of someone new after decades of marriage to her late spouse. For her, this companionship might be a lifeline, a reason to smile, to dress up, to look forward to tomorrow. Or consider an elderly man who, after years of solitude, gathers the courage to express his affection for a fellow resident in his retirement community. These stories are not laughable. They are deeply human and profoundly courageous. When we laugh at someone else's romantic relationships, especially in their later years, we forget one fundamental truth: love is ageless. The need to love and be loved is not something we outgrow, no matter how many birthdays we've celebrated. Instead of dismissing or mocking these relationships, we should honor them as a testament to the resilience of the human heart. Romance in old age often carries a wisdom and sincerity that younger love lacks. It's a choice made not out of necessity or societal expectation, but from a genuine desire to connect. Laughing at such relationships diminishes the vulnerability and bravery it takes to open one's heart, particularly after a lifetime of experiences, both joyous and painful. So, what should you do when you see an older friend or family member finding love again? Celebrate it, encourage it, ask about their happiness, not with a smirk, but with genuine curiosity. Their story might inspire you, remind you of your own capacity for connection, and reinforce the beauty of love at any stage of life. 2. Don't laugh at physical imperfections. Aging is a natural process, one that leaves visible traces on our bodies. Wrinkles appear where smiles once lived. Scars mark battles fought and sometimes won. Hair thins, posture bends, and movements slow. These changes are not flaws. They are reflections of a life well lived. Yet, in a culture that often worships youth and physical perfection, it's all too easy to reduce these signs of aging to a punchline. Think about the impact this has on those who are laughed at. A seemingly innocent joke about someone's weight, gait, or wrinkles can reinforce insecurities they've worked years to overcome. For many older adults, these physical changes are tied to significant emotional milestones: a scar that recalls a life-saving surgery, hands weathered by decades of work, or a slower step that reflects the sacrifices of caregiving. To mock these changes is to mock the life behind them. Consider your own journey. If you've lived long enough to have gray hair, scars, or stiff joints, you've lived long enough to gather memories, lessons, and love. Isn't that something to celebrate rather than ridicule? By laughing at someone else's physical imperfections, we diminish not only their worth, but also our own capacity for empathy. Physical changes also serve as reminders of the strength and adaptability of the human body. That body, no matter how it looks today, has carried you through decades of challenges and triumphs. It has healed wounds, hugged loved ones, and traveled countless miles. Every wrinkle, every scar, every gray hair is a badge of honor. When you catch yourself tempted to comment on someone's physical appearance, pause. Replace judgment with curiosity. What stories do those wrinkles hold? What sacrifices does that slower step reveal? And what lessons can you learn from the way they carry themselves with dignity and grace? Instead of laughing, offer encouragement. Compliment their resilience, their poise, or their style. Simple acts of kindness can transform someone's day and remind them and yourself that aging is not a loss, but a celebration of life's fullness. As we grow older, laughter remains one of life's greatest joys, but it must be wielded wisely. Laugh with people, not at them. Let your humor heal rather than harm. By refusing to laugh at someone's romantic choices or physical changes, you embrace a richer, more compassionate view of life, one that honors the journeys we've all taken and the humanity we all share. In the golden years, our legacy lies not in how young we look or how conventional our choices seem, but in the kindness and understanding we extend to others. Choose to be a source of light, not laughter, when others need your respect most. That choice is a reflection of your wisdom and your heart. 2. 3 things not to complain about. As the years go by, it's natural to reflect on life's twists and turns, the places we've lived, the family we come from, and the relationships we've built. But as we reflect, it's important to resist the pull of negativity. Complaining about these parts of our lives often blinds us to the blessings we've gained and distances us from those who cherish us. Let's explore with depth and empathy why we should strive not to complain about our hometown, our family background, and our marriages. 1. Don't complain about your hometown. Your hometown is not just a physical place, it's a wellspring of identity. Whether it was a bustling city or a quiet rural town, it shaped the person you've become. It cradled your earliest memories, running barefoot in the summer heat, climbing trees in the backyard, or sharing secrets with childhood friends. Yet, it's easy to grow disillusioned with it over time. Perhaps it has changed, becoming unrecognizable from the vibrant place you remember. Perhaps it never quite lived up to your dreams. Complaining about it now, however, diminishes the profound impact it had on your life. To lament your hometown is to overlook the good it gave you. It's where you learned your first lessons about love, loss, and community. It's where you discovered your favorite flavors, celebrated your first triumphs, and recovered from your earliest failures. Even if it wasn't perfect, and no place ever is, it offered you a foundation on which you've built your life. Consider this. Every place has its flaws. Complaining about your hometown often says more about how we compare our lives to others than it does about the place itself. Maybe your neighbor's hometown seems grander, more cultured, or more prosperous, but at the heart of it, hometowns are like family. We didn't choose them, but they're an inseparable part of who we are. Instead of complaining, tell the stories that make your hometown unique. Share with your grandchildren the way the autumn leaves used to crunch underfoot on your walk to school or the smell of pies baking at the local diner. Let these memories live on in the hearts of your family. Honor your roots, not by idealizing them, but by celebrating their role in your journey. 2. Don't complain about your family background. Our families are the first mirrors we encounter in life, reflecting back to us both love and imperfection. Not everyone comes from a family that's picture perfect. Some of us grew up in poverty. Others may have faced estrangement, dysfunction, or emotional distance. These hardships might tempt us to dwell on what we lacked, but spending our later years in bitterness about our origins only robs us of the peace and gratitude we deserve. Complaining about your family background often perpetuates pain instead of healing it. While it's important to acknowledge any harm or challenges you faced, it's equally important to recognize the strength you've gained. Perhaps growing up with little money taught you resilience and resourcefulness. Perhaps having a strict parent gave you the discipline that led to your successes. Even in the most difficult circumstances, there are lessons to uncover and gratitude to cultivate. It's also vital to think about how your words affect others, especially your children and grandchildren. When you speak negatively about your family background, you inadvertently send a message about their lineage. You risk planting seeds of insecurity, making them question their own identity. By reframing the narrative, you offer them a sense of pride in their heritage. Instead of saying, "My parents were cold and distant," you might say, "My parents had their struggles, but they worked hard to give us a chance." Forgiveness, too, plays a role here. Forgiving those in your family who may have hurt or disappointed you is not about excusing their actions, but about freeing yourself from the weight of anger and regret. Letting go of complaints about your family background allows you to find joy in the relationships you have now and create a legacy of love and understanding for future generations. 3. Don't complain about your marriage. A long marriage is like a great novel, filled with twists, turns, joy, sorrow, and everything in between. By the time we reach our golden years, we've likely weathered storms with our partners that only time can bring, raising children, navigating careers, managing finances, and facing loss. It's easy to look back and focus on the disappointments, the arguments, or the ways your partner didn't meet your expectations. But complaining about your marriage overshadows the remarkable journey you've shared. Marriage in old age is not about perfection, it's about persistence. The person sitting beside you on the couch, even after all these years, has chosen to walk life's path with you day after day. That commitment deserves recognition. When we complain about our marriages, we often fail to see the quiet acts of love that sustain them. Maybe your spouse isn't as romantic as they used to be, but they still make sure the lights are off before bed. Maybe they forget anniversaries, but they always remember to warm your coffee in the morning. Moreover, public complaints about your spouse can cause harm not just to your partner, but also to your relationship. Words have power, and voicing dissatisfaction repeatedly can create wounds that are difficult to heal. Instead, nurture gratitude. Reflect on the laughter, the shared meals, the comfort of knowing someone is always in your corner. Even if your marriage has had significant challenges, perhaps infidelity, illness, or financial struggles, it's important to recognize the resilience that brought you both to this point. The fact that you're still together, choosing each other every day, is a testament to your shared strength. Finally, remember that marriage in later life is an opportunity for rediscovery. As you and your spouse transition from raising children to enjoying retirement, you have the chance to reconnect in new ways. Take up a hobby together, reminisce about your younger days, or simply spend time appreciating the quiet companionship that only comes from decades of partnership. Why letting go of complaints matters. Letting go of complaints about your hometown, family background, and marriage is not about denying life's difficulties. It's about choosing to see the beauty amid the imperfections. When we stop complaining, we create space for gratitude, connection, and peace. We model resilience for younger generations and remind ourselves of what truly matters. Life at 65 and beyond is not a time for lamenting what might have been. It's a time for cherishing what is. By focusing on the blessings hidden in your hometown, your family background, and your marriage, you cultivate a legacy of hope, wisdom, and love. And that legacy, more than anything else, is what endures. 3. Three things not to argue about. As we grow older, we come to understand that not every conflict is worth the energy it demands. Our golden years are precious, offering us the opportunity to focus on what truly matters: health, relationships, and inner peace. Arguments, especially those that yield no resolution, can steal that peace and burden us unnecessarily. By learning to discern which conflicts to avoid, we preserve not only our energy, but also our dignity. Let's delve into three specific types of arguments that we should leave behind for a more fulfilling life. 1. Don't argue with someone who's drunk. Alcohol has a unique ability to strip people of their inhibitions, clarity, and self control. When someone is under its influence, their words often become sharp, exaggerated, or nonsensical. While it may feel instinctive to defend yourself or correct their misconceptions, arguing with a drunk person is like trying to reason with the wind. It accomplishes nothing and often leaves you feeling drained. Imagine a family gathering where an intoxicated relative begins recounting a distorted version of an old family disagreement. Their voice grows louder, their words more pointed. In that moment, you might feel compelled to defend your side of the story. But pause and ask yourself, will they even remember this tomorrow? Is this really the time to address these issues? The answer is likely no. Choosing to walk away doesn't mean surrendering your values or letting them win. It's about recognizing that their current state prevents meaningful conversation. Instead, respond with calm neutrality. Let's talk about this another time. This approach not only preserves your peace, but also prevents the situation from escalating. For loved ones who frequently drink to excess, consider addressing the broader issue of their behavior when they're sober. Compassionate, non-judgmental conversations can lead to better understanding and potentially meaningful change. Save your energy for moments when your words can truly make a difference. 2. Don't argue with someone who has nothing to lose. There's a quiet danger in engaging with someone who feels they have nothing left to lose. These individuals may be in the grip of desperation, frustration, or anger, and their actions often defy reason. They argue not to find resolution, but to exert control or vent their emotions. Engaging with them rarely leads to anything positive and can put you in harm's way, emotionally or even physically. Consider this scenario. At a local community meeting, an individual begins loudly criticizing the decisions of others, venting their personal grievances with no regard for the topic at hand. They seem ready to escalate at the slightest provocation. Engaging with them might feel like defending what's right, but it often ends up adding fuel to their fire. Worse, it can draw you into a downward spiral of negativity. The wiser choice is to disengage. A simple, "I hear you," or even a nod can diffuse tension without inviting further conflict. If the situation allows, remove yourself entirely. This isn't about avoiding tough conversations. It's about recognizing when someone is unwilling or unable to engage constructively. If you must address an issue with someone in this state, do so strategically. Choose a calm moment and approach with empathy. I know you've been through a lot. Let's find a way to work through this together. While not every conflict can be resolved, responding with kindness and caution protects your peace and sets an example for others. 3. Don't argue with someone you'll never see again. In our daily lives, we often encounter strangers at the grocery store, in traffic, or waiting in line, whose actions may irritate or even offend us. It's tempting to respond when someone cuts you off, speaks rudely, or acts disrespectfully. But in the grand scheme of things, does engaging with them add value to your life? Imagine you're waiting in line at a coffee shop and someone loudly criticizes a staff for being too slow. You feel a surge of frustration. After all, their impatience is disrupting everyone's morning. The temptation to chime in is strong, but before you say anything, ask yourself, what will this achieve? Will this person ever change because of what I say? In most cases, the answer is no. Strangers don't hold a permanent place in your life, and their behavior often has little to do with you. Engaging in conflict with them risks leaving you upset long after the moment has passed. Instead, practice letting go. Offer a kind smile, or, if necessary, create distance. This doesn't mean ignoring bad behavior. It means prioritizing your own well being. By choosing not to engage, you conserve your energy for the people and situations that truly matter. Why avoiding these arguments is vital. As we age, our priorities shift. We begin to value peace over victory, understanding over confrontation, and relationships over pride. Avoiding unnecessary arguments is not a sign of weakness. It's a demonstration of wisdom, learned through decades of experience. Here's why walking away from these conflicts is so powerful. You preserve your energy. Arguments, especially fruitless ones, are emotionally and mentally exhausting. By avoiding them, you redirect your energy toward meaningful pursuits and joyful moments. You protect your relationships. Even the closest bonds can be strained by unnecessary conflicts. By choosing your battles wisely, you nurture harmony in your family and community. You model grace and restraint. Younger generations look to seniors for guidance. By responding to conflict with dignity, you teach them the value of self-control and respect. Embracing peace in the golden years. At this stage of life, you've earned the right to prioritize your happiness and well-being. Walking away from unnecessary arguments isn't about giving up. It's about choosing a life filled with joy, connection, and serenity. Whether it's with a drunk individual, someone consumed by despair, or a passing stranger, you have the power to decide which battles are worth your time. Remember, every moment spent in conflict is a moment stolen from the things that bring you peace. Choose to let go, to forgive, and to focus on what truly matters. By doing so, you enrich not only your own life, but also the lives of those who look up to you. Peace, after all, is the greatest victory of all. Conclusion: choosing wisdom, embracing peace. As we journey through the later stages of life, we begin to understand that peace is not merely the absence of turmoil, but the deliberate choice to live with wisdom, grace, and purpose. The lessons of knowing what not to laugh at, what not to complain about, and what not to argue over are about much more than avoiding conflict. They are guiding principles for a life rich in meaning and fulfillment. The legacy of kindness. When we choose not to laugh at someone's vulnerabilities, we do more than spare them hurt. We actively build a world rooted in kindness. A warm smile or a compassionate word can uplift someone struggling with their own insecurities. By honoring the relationships and experiences that make us human, we extend grace not only to others, but also to ourselves. This kindness becomes a legacy, a ripple effect that touches children, grandchildren, and even strangers. As elders, we carry the responsibility of modeling this kindness for the next generation. Every interaction is an opportunity to teach by example, showing that dignity lies in how we treat those around us, especially in their moments of vulnerability. By choosing kindness over mockery, we offer a profound gift to the world: the power of gratitude. Letting go of complaints about our hometown, our family, or our marriage requires a shift in perspective. Instead of focusing on what could have been better, we focus on what has been beautiful. Gratitude transforms how we see the world, allowing us to find joy in even the smallest moments: the laughter of a grandchild, the warm sunlight on your face, the steady presence of a lifelong partner. These are treasures that no amount of complaining can improve, but plenty of gratitude can magnify. Gratitude is also a form of healing. It allows us to forgive the imperfections of the past, whether they belong to places, people, or circumstances. By choosing gratitude, we set ourselves free from the weight of regret, creating room for serenity and contentment. This isn't just a gift to ourselves, it's a gift to those who walk alongside us. When we radiate gratitude, we inspire others to do the same. The wisdom of walking away. Arguments have a way of pulling us into their gravity, draining our energy and leaving us unsettled. Yet, with age comes the wisdom to know which battles are worth fighting and which are best left behind. Walking away from an argument, whether with a drunk person, someone desperate, or a passing stranger, is not a concession of defeat, but a declaration of self-respect. It says, I value my peace more than I value being right. This wisdom doesn't just protect us, it enriches our relationships. By refusing to engage in fruitless disputes, we preserve harmony with the loved ones and ensure that our time together is spent on connection, not conflict. Imagine the gift this gives to those who share your life. Moments of laughter, shared memories, and a calm presence that reassures and comforts. Living with purpose in the golden years. The choices we make in our later years carry tremendous weight, not because they change the world overnight, but because they shape how we experience the world and how others experience us. These choices define our legacy. Will we be remembered as someone who found beauty in the everyday, who responded to challenges with grace, and who embraced others with understanding? Or will we leave behind memories of bitterness, regret, and unresolved conflict? Choosing peace, gratitude, and kindness doesn't mean ignoring life's challenges. It means facing them with the calm confidence that comes from knowing what truly matters. It means prioritizing the people, experiences, and values that bring joy and meaning to our days. It means becoming a beacon of wisdom in a world often clouded by chaos. A life well lived. As you reflect on your own journey, take a moment to consider the immense gift of time. Every wrinkle, every gray hair, every memory is a testament to the life you've lived and the lessons you've learned. You've seen joys and sorrows, triumphs and setbacks, and through it all, you've endured. That endurance is worth celebrating. Your legacy isn't measured by wealth, accolades, or accomplishments. It's measured by the love you've shared, the peace you've cultivated, and the wisdom you've imparted. It's in the way your grandchildren remember your stories, in the quiet moments you spend with a lifelong friend, and in the laughter that echoes through your home during family gatherings. Parting thoughts. As the sun sets on one day and rises on another, let us remember that each moment is an opportunity to live with intention. Choose to laugh with, not at. Choose to celebrate rather than complain. Choose to walk away from arguments that steal your joy. These small decisions, made daily, create a life of harmony, fulfillment, and deep satisfaction. The poet Mary Oliver asked, "What is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?" Even in our later years, this question resonates. The answer lies not in grand gestures or monumental achievements, but in the quiet, deliberate choices that shape our character and our legacy. May your choices lead you to peace, and may your days be filled with the love and wisdom that only a life well lived can bring. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.